And we can fine tune the shot by just adding another adjustment layer if we like, which is going to be brightness contrast, because I think the highlights here are a little bit too burnt out and clipped, so I'm just going to take those down a wee bit, and that kind of darkens the overall lighting and makes a more typical low-key lighting effect, very dramatic and very moody. And you can still see the darker details of the shadows around the eyes and the eyebrows there, so you've definitely got a sense of personality coming through, but you've also got moodier looking lighting. We can tweak contrast as well just to try and lose the brighter, more garish highlights. Let's click OK, and let's see the difference that made. Yeah, it's just darkened it down a little bit and restored some of the detail to the midtones. So that is a typical low-key photograph. Now, next thing to do is to think about color information. If we want to actually make a color version, what we can do is duplicate this color layer, pop it up here, then drag it to the top, so we're placing it above all of our other layers, and then you can play with layer blends to combine the color information with the dramatic low-key lighting effect. So click on the layer blending mode, use the down arrow, and you can then jump to different blends, as you can see there, or go straight to the one that you like the most. I'm going to choose overlay because you get a nice high contrast blend. I can make it a little bit more subtle by reducing opacity down to about 62, like so, so that I've got a mixture between my monochrome version and my color, and I've got that dramatic low-key effect. So it's all down to personal preference really about how strong you want your colors, but these are all the tools and techniques you need to create your own striking low-key effects. And if you really quickly needed to mask out some of the effects of this particular layer, then what you can do is, here's a quick extra trick for you, create a new adjustment layer, then click OK, don't make any changes to it, pop it below the layer that you want to mask, and then hold down Alt and move it between the two to get this little icon appearing like so. And you can now paint on this mask and remove parts of this layer using the brushes like we did earlier with the adjustment layers. So a black brush, click on here, and then I can just paint out the color information. I'll just show you here, for example, but Control Z to undo it. So if you're finding that it's affecting the tones of the hair, for example, then you can just remove some of the color information that way. But that's just an extra option that you've got to fake layer masks in Photoshop Elements. It's a very powerful tool to be able to emulate. But there is our low-key color version of the shot, and there's the black and white. I think it's much stronger in black and white actually. It's much more dramatic and striking.